ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवमुपास्महे। ओम श्री हयग्रीवाय नमः। ओम श्री वल्लभा समेत श्री महागणाधिपतये नमः। We are now going into a new topic. We saw that Vyavartamanatvam as a hetu for mithyatvam. Now we are going to look at this drishyatvam as a hetu. So mithyatva-sadhaka-drishyatva-hetor brahmani vyabhichAra-shankA-nirAsah is the topic. So one normally one anumana which is given by the Advaitins is that Jagan mithya drishyatva. Drishyatva itself is given as a hetu. So generally it is said vimatam mithya drishyatva jadatva parichinnatva, like this. More than one hetu is given. So in that drishyatva is one of the reasons why we say that Jagat is mithya. Now that may seem to be very interesting because the same hetu is used by the Dvaitins. They say that Jagat Satyam Drishyatvat Ghatavat. So the Jagat is Satya because it is seen. Like even a pot is seen and pot is existent or real. Right? In fact, we give the Drishtanta of Rajju Sarpavat. Okay. So Jagat Mithya or Vimatam Mithya is given. Vimatam means that which is under discussion or debated, or that which is the world which is Achetana is the Vimata there. That is under discussion, or its reality is what is being discussed, correct? So that world which is Achetana, is it Satyam or Mithya? Means we say Mithya because the reason is it is seen, like even a rope snake. Now in this, here there is a doubt. If you give Drishyatva itself as a Hetu, does it not apply to Brahman also? That is the vyabhichAra-shankha here. Vyabhichara means we are giving the Hetu saying that it applies to Jagat. But what if it extends and goes and applies to Brahman also? Because Brahman also is Drishya, you can say. Why? Even the Upanishad says, Drishyate tu agreya buddhya manasa eva anudrashtavyam. Like this, there are different Upanishad Vakyas are there, which can say or which can imply that Brahman also is Drishyam, then Brahman will become Mithya, correct? According to this argument. So that is the vyabhichara-shankha, and that is the doubt. Does it now apply to Brahman also or not? The Drishyatva Hetu, not only does it, of course, it applies to the world because we see the world. There is no doubt in that. But what about Brahman? That is the question which is now raised and answered. So, atha Drishyatva Hetuhu Jagan Mithyatvam Kim Sadhayati Uta Na iti vicharyate. So, first we are, hereafter what we are going to see, whether the Drishyatva Hetu, that whether it establishes that this Jagat is Mithya or not. That is being now analyzed. And in that word, Jagan mithya drishyatvat shukti rajatavate iti anumanam brahmani anaikantam. So this drishyatva, which we are giving as a hetu, and also the drishtanta here he is giving as shukti rajatavate. Okay, in the anumana, we are establishing that this Jagat is mithya based on the reason that it is seen, like even the silver seen on shell. When you say this Anumana extends into Brahman also. This is what the Vishishtaadvaitins are claiming. Okay, the Purva Pakshi now claims that. In fact, why do they say that? Because in the Shukti Rajata or rope snake analogy we are giving, both rope and snake are Drishya, correct? Rope also is Drishya, snake also is Drishya. So like that, Brahman also is Drishya then. So he is explaining that Adhyastam Swa-adhishtana Samanadhikaranataya Vedyam. So whatever is Adhyastha or superimposed is always known along with its Adhishtana, correct? So the locus where you see the superimposed object, you have to know it along with the locus. So the locus also is known, and the whatever the appearance on the locus which is superimposed, that is also known. Both are known. So the Adhishtana has to be known as the Adhikarana, where you actually see the substratum and all. We say Adhishtana in English, they call it substratum. The substratum has to be known as the locus of your your adhyasa. So therefore, what here yatha idam rajatamiti. So he is saying, like, even you know this silver, when you say that this is the shell really, correct? Or this snake, if you say that this is really rope. So then this has to be also known, but you are now seeing it as rope or silver or all those things. So in this manner, evam ghatassan patassan iti adhishtanasya sataha prapanchasya cha ekadhivedyatvat brahmani api drishyatvam asti iti shruta prakashikakarah tanmandam. So in this manner, what when you say ghataha san, so existent part or part exists, cloth exists, etc. That existence, correct? Sadbuddhi also is there along with the Namarupa Buddhi. So Namarupa is the Prapancha. The Sadbuddhi is the one which is invariable in each and every cognition, correct? Is. That is never goes away. So now they are saying, since that is also known, and that is nothing but Brahman, because Brahman is Satyam, correct? Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, when we say, that means Brahman also is Drishyam. So Drishyatva comes to Brahman. So Brahmani api Drishyatvam asti. That is the vyabhichara now. Okay. We applied it thinking that it applies to only the world. But now the Purva Pakshi is saying, no, no, wait. It applies to also Brahman. Like this in the Shruta Prakashika, it is said, but that is not. Tan mandam means that's not very bright. This argument is not a proper argument. Why? Because what do we say? The Siddhanti is now saying, Swayam bhasamane bhana rupe brahmani bhaskare deepa bhasyatva deepa bhasyatvasya iva jnana bhasyatva lakshana drishyatva ayoga. So, like even the sun, correct? Bhaskare, you don't require a lamp to see the sun. Okay, like that, you don't require anything to know this Brahman, because Brahman is Swayam Jyotihi. Upanishad itself reveals that this Brahman is Swayam Jyoti. There is a Swayam Jyotir Brahmanaha also in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. So Swayam Bhasamane, that which is shining by itself, and that which is of the nature of consciousness itself, Vana Rupe Brahmani, Bhaskare Deepasya Deepa Bhasyatvasya iva. So, like saying that this Bhaskara or sun is having Deepa Bhasyatvam means what? It has to be known only with a lamp. Like that, can anybody say that? Nobody can say that. Similarly, this Brahman, which is itself of the nature of consciousness, which is shining all the time, it need not be revealed by any vritti, correct? Normally, when we say jnana bhasyatvam means vritti jnanam only we are talking about. No vritti can really reveal Brahman as a known vastu. It is not even required because Brahman is already, the vritti itself is lighted up by only Brahman, correct? So, jnana bhasyatva lakshana is not there for Brahman. It is not jnana bhasya, it is jnana swarupa, nyati swarupa we say in fact. So, Brahman is nyati swarupa, and therefore drishyatva ayoga, it cannot ever be an object of your cognition. It can never become an object of your cognition. That's why aprameya and all we say, correct? Aprameyatvam is there. It can never be a prameya. Even in the Gita, Bhagavan talks about aprameyatvam of this Atma. Therefore, this Brahman is aprameya. Then why is the Upanishad saying drishyate tu agreya buddhya manasa eva anudrashtavyam? See, here you can see there are two extremes are there. Modern Vedanta also, one extreme is that why are you studying Vedanta? Brahman is beyond mind. It is supra-mental. You have to go beyond your mind. Why are you looking into the book? Just dive deep in meditation and go beyond your mind and all that. That is also a problem. Brahman is beyond mind. We accept that. It transcends your body, mind, etc. But that has to be known only in the mind, correct? That the Brahman transcends the mind itself is known only in your mind. All knowledge is only mental. There is no other knowledge, correct? When we talk about knowledge as a vritti jnanam, it is basically manovritti only. All knowledge is manovritti, therefore it has to be known. Only the swarupa jnanam is the one which transcends your mind, but even that has to be known, that the your own swarupa transcends your body mind sense complex. That itself is known only in your mind, because the wrong notions are there in your mind and it has to be removed. So that is the vritti is required for that. So in that way, we say that this drishyate or manasa eva anudrashtavyam and all that. Agreya buddhya drishyate means it is known by a sharp mind or a mind which is prepared for this knowledge. But when we say it is known, what do we really mean there? So that also will come now. So once we say that Brahman cannot be a drishya, Purva Pakshi comes back. He says, Nacha pratyaksham sanmatra grahi iti uktam. So we only said before, if you remember, Balankanda said that even pratyaksha really reveals only the sat. All the namarupa which is revealed by pratyaksha is all only, it is all only adhyasa. In fact, it is all ajnana vrita. So the pratyaksha vritti only reveals sanmatra, and everything else is only ajnana vritti. Ajnana only makes up all the namarupa. This argument we made. So he is now referring that and says, you only said even pratyaksha reveals only sanmatram really. The pramana vritti really reveals only the sanmatra. Did you not say? Then how can you say it is not drishya? So now he is explaining that further. So if you say that what, you cannot say why sad avaraka ajnana nivartakatvam eva pratyakshasya sanmatra grahitvam iti uktatva. So what do we really say is that even there, the sad avaraka jnana nivartakatvam he says. Sorry, sad avaraka ajnana nivartakatvam. So the ajnana which is covering the existence of something, that ajnana is removed by the pramana vritti or the pramana pravritti. So, whatever the operation of the means of knowledge which is happening, it is only removing ignorance. So, in fact, all the way, any jnanam we talk about is only removal of ignorance. We have to understand that. In fact, Pujya Swamiji, my Guruji used to say, that's why that any teaching is like sculpting. Okay. Why? Because in the sculpture, the sculptor is not creating a new thing. Understand that. You take a stone, the sculptor already sees the final form in that, and he is only removing whatever is covering his vision. Correct? In his vision, he is already seeing a Krishna in the stone. And what he is actually doing is removing away whatever is covering Krishna there. He is not really creating a new Krishna or anything. Like that, all knowledge is already there, correct? Ishvara is all knowledge, but that is covered. There is avarana, ajnanena, avritam, jnanam. Bhagavan also says, this ajnana is covering. In fact, the very fact that we require an antakarana vritti to know anything itself points out that there is a covering, because any antakarana vritti is only really destroying the ignorance which is covering whatever is to be known. So that's how we look at it. All knowledge is really removal of ignorance. And then with reference to Brahman, also it is the same thing. Once the ajnana goes, then the Swayam Prakash of Brahman is shining by itself. So that's what we say here. Sad avaraka ajnana nivartakatvam. So really speaking, even the sanmatra jnanam is really the removal of ignorance with reference to the existence, and not really that sanmatra itself is objectified. We are not saying that. So when we say that pratyaksha reveals sanmatra, that revelation is only with reference to removal of ignorance. We have to be very clear. It's not an objectification. Okay, once we say that what he says, athapi yadi brahma drishyameva iti agraha tarhi yena kartra yena karnena brahma drishyate sa karta tacha karanam kenapi drishyate va na va. Okay, now he is asking many questions. So let us say, even after all this, what? If you say Brahman is Drishyam, you hold on, saying that no, Brahman is Drishyam. Brahman is known or is to be known. If you are holding on to that, Agraha means you are catching on to that desperately, then you answer my questions. Okay. You say that Brahman is to be known, Brahman is Drishya, then what? Yena Kartra, by whom is it known? You have to say, who is the knower of Brahman? Yena Karanena Brahma Drishyate, and by what instrument is it known? Because whenever you say any activity means there has to be an agent, there has to be an instrument. So who is the agent? What is the instrument here? And further what? That knower and the instrument also, is it known or not? He is further asking. Sakarta tacha karanam kenapi drishyate va nava. So is it even the karta and karana also, the agent and the instrument also, are they seen by somebody or not? Okay. Now in this what adye. Okay, now we are taking up this question with the karta and the karana. Assuming that Brahman is known, there has to be a karta and karana. Whether this karta and karana are known by somebody or not. Because to say that Brahman is known, you have to know the knower of Brahman, correct? And what instrument that person is using. Now, if you say that yes, the knower of Brahman is known and the instrument which is used by that knower is known, then next question he is asking, Adye. kim svena drishyate uta anyena. So when you say this karta and karana are known, they are known to themselves or by somebody else or something else. So the knower of the knower of Brahman and the instrument which is used to know that Brahman, that knower itself, is it something separate or is it Brahman itself? Is it the same? Means same you cannot say na adhyaha vai karma kartru bhava virodhat. If you say Brahman itself is knowing itself as the known or the knower of Brahman and all that, then you will have subject object cannot be the same. Correct? Kartri karma virodha is coming. Contradiction is coming. It's a problem. Okay? Karma kartri bhava virodha is there. He is saying the subject and the object cannot be one and the same. There is a problem. Now, once you say this word, Purva Pakshi comes back. He says, Nacha darpane swayameva purusha drishyate iti vachyam. So, darpane swayameva purusha drishyate is saying. So, why cannot I say that Brahman knows itself? Like even a person can know himself by looking at the mirror, correct? In the mirror, one knows oneself. So, why can't I say Brahman knows itself? Means nobody knows himself in the mirror, correct? In the mirror, you are only seeing the reflection. So you cannot say this. So he says, Pratibimbasya eva tatra darshanat. So in the mirror, you are seeing the reflection. Okay, it doesn't make yourself both the subject and object. Understand that? But then further he says, no, no, everybody knows oneself as fat, slim, etc. Correct? Of course, it is with reference to one's body. So the Purva Pakshi now says, no, no, what about knowing oneself as however you are, correct? I am 65 kgs, I am 95 kgs, whatever it is. So, nacha devadattaha atmanam pashyanneva sthuloham iti pratyeti iti vachyam. So, a devadatta, a person known as devadatta, he knows himself. That's why he is saying, I am sthulaha, I am fat, I am stout, etc. So, he knows himself as stout. You say that what, even that you cannot say. Why? Tatra sthulasya dehasya eva devadattena drishyatvat. The sthulatvam doesn't belong to Atma really, correct? It is the sthulatvam of the Deha. The stoutness or fatness belongs to the body, and that is seen by Devadatta. Okay, and in fact, even the Vishishtadvaitin doesn't say that the Deha is the body. They also accept Deha Vyatirikta Atma. Understand that? Because without Deha Vyatirikta Atma, who will go to Vaikunthi? For them also, they have to accept a Deha Vyatirikta Atma. They are not Charvaka. They are Vaidika. And this Deha Vitirikta Atma only has to go to Vaikunta and Videha Mukti and all they talk about. Okay. So Dehat Bhinnasya Atmanaha Eva Devadattva. So even the Devadatta, the knower, is actually somebody who is different from the Devadatta body. One has to accept that. And the Devadatta who is other than the body only cognizes this body as stout, fat, etc. Therefore, what you say is not correct. So there also the karma kartra bhava virodha is not there. The subject and object are not same even for the one who says my body is fat. Okay, even there my body also you are saying. Even there is a distance comes, correct? As soon as you say my. Anyway, so the other option now is what? So the first option is gone now. You cannot say it is knowing itself. Then what? Dvitiye. That means the Brahman is known by somebody else. That is also a problem. Then that knower is known by whom? Like that, if you keep asking, it will go into anavastha. Correct? So, dvitiye saha anyaha kim kenapi drishyate na va. So whoever is known, sorry, by whomever this Brahman is known, correct? If that is other than Brahman, that knower itself is known by somebody or not? That is the question now, correct? Otherwise, how can you even say that that knower of Brahman is there? To say that there is a knower of Brahman who is other than Brahman also, you have to know that knower, correct? So who is that knower? Or whether is there any knower of that Brahman's knower or not? Means if you say there is one person like that, okay, means then what? Again we ask that knower is the same as oneself or somebody else. Then again, if you say you cannot say the same person knows oneself, the whatever originally we said karma kartru bhava virodha will come. Vyaghata. Okay, prathame vyaghata utta eva. So if you say the same thing is subject and object, then it is a contradiction. And if you say dvitiya, the knower of Brahman itself is known by somebody else, means that anya again, if you ask who knows that, like this you can keep on going, correct? So dvitiye cha Dvitiye sacha anyaha kenapi kim drishyate uta na, again he is asking the same thing. Adye kim swena uta anyena prathame vyagata ukta eva dvitiye tu anavastha. So if you keep on asking this question, the only option is either it is contradiction or it will end up in infinite regress. Anavastha will come. Therefore what? So atha yadi na drishyate iti pakshaha svikriyate. Okay, now go back to the original question. Drishyate nava here. Correct? This is what we are asking. If you say drishyate, then all these questions, if we keep on asking, you arrive at only contradiction or infinite regress. Now, if you say no, no, that that knower of Brahman and instrument by which Brahman is known and all is not at all known. It is not known means, then on what basis you are saying it is there? This itself is a problem now, correct? So if you say that knower of Brahman and the instrument which is with which Brahman is known itself is not known, okay? So that is what atha. If you now say what yadi na drishyate iti pakshaha svikriyate, if you say it is not known like that, then what tarhi sasa shringavate adrishyamanasya padarthaha nasti eva. That means it will become like a rabbit's horn only, hare's horn, because whatever is not known, how do you even establish then that Brahman is known? Okay, who is the knower of Brahman and what instrument is being used and all? If you are saying that itself is not known, then there is no knower of Brahman and there is no instrument also which can be used for that purpose. They are all non-existent. So both this paksha only problems are there. That's why we have to say Brahman is not even a known. Okay. Once we say this, what Purva Pakshi now comes back. He says, Nacha Atmana Kartra Manasa Karanena Brahma Drishyate Tad Ubayam Brahmana Drishyate iti na doshaha iti vachyam. Okay, now what is the argument they are saying? This Atma is the Karta, Manas is the Karana, and Brahman knows both. Because for them, Jivatma is separate from Paramatma. Understand that. When they talk about this Antaryami and all that, so Bhagavan is sitting within each of these Jivatma. So that Bhagavan knows the Jivatma or whatever is happening. So, and Manas is the Karana, Atma is the knower or Karta, and Brahman sees both now. Tad Ubayam Brahma Drishyate. So Brahman sees both of them. Okay. Therefore, and Brahman is also seen by this Atma and Karana. Manas Karana and Jivatma sees the Brahman using Manas as the Karana. And Brahman also, and these two are also seen by Brahman. That is the answer they are giving. Okay, therefore there is no dosha. Taduvayam Brahmana drishyate. This also you cannot say. Na vachyam. Why? Tad Brahma kim atmanam va iti utana. So now we ask, see, you are now distinguishing atmana kartra Brahma drishyate and Brahmana atma drishyate. If you say this, that means what? Basically, you are implying Atma is other than Brahman, correct? So, this Brahman itself is Atma or not? Now you tell me. That is the question we are asking. Now, if you say Brahman is Atma and still maintain that Atma is seeing Brahman and Brahman is seeing Atma, that is a contradiction. Again, the Karma Kartra Bhava Virodha will come. Brahman will become both subject and object. That is not possible. So, Adya, if Brahman and Atma are one and the same, nobody can say that Atma is seeing Brahman and Brahman is seeing Atma. That doesn't make any sense. So, Adya Vyaghataha. Okay, the other one only they will go to because Vishishtaadvaitins say that Paramatma is separate from Jivatma. Correct? So, Dvitiye. So, now the other option is what? You have to say Atma is something else, Brahman is something else. Brahman and Atma are different. So once you say that what Dvitiye Brahmanaha Anatmagnyatvena Sarvagnyam. So this is what Puja Swamiji also used to say, my Guruji. If you say Brahman is other than you, essentially you are making Brahman into Anatma, correct? Brahman is Anatma means it will become Achetana also and it cannot be Sarvagnya also. This is what Ballangonda is pointing out. If Brahman and Atma are different, Brahman will become Anatma, okay? And then what? It cannot be all-knowing also. It becomes other than yourself. It is something separate from you. So that itself is a problem then. Okay. So Brahman is known by somebody who is not itself, and being anatma, it will become achetana and it cannot know itself. If it cannot know itself, it cannot know everything else also, correct? How can you say it is sarvagnya? So he is explaining that he says abrahmavid brahma apekshaya brahmavid jivasya utkrishtatvam cha. So now the other thing is what? This the one who is abrahma, correct? This jiva, but he only becomes brahmavid, correct? The jiva is knowing Brahman, you are saying. Jiva who is the atma, he becomes the brahmavid, then he will become utkrishta. The jiva will become greater than Brahman itself. With reference to Brahman, the abrahma jiva who becomes brahmavid, that jiva will become greater than even Brahman because jiva is chetana, atma, and Brahman will become jada, anatma. So this is a problem. Jiva will become greater, utkrishta than Brahman, and in this manner what? Evam jiva atmanam kim veda utana, because this the Brahman is supposed to be known as atma only, correct? That itself is a problem for them. Once you separate out all this Jivatma and Paramatma and the two different things and all that, if you say, none of that actually can stand any scrutiny actually. So again he is asking a question. What? This Jiva also, Jiva is the Atma for you now. Does that Jiva know oneself or not? Jiva Atmanam kim Veda Utana. Here also if you, because Jiva is self-conscious or not. And adye vyaghataha. Jiva knows one's own Atma, if you say also. Whether that Atma is Brahman or not is another point. But does the Jiva know one's own Atma or not? If you say Jiva knows, same Vyaghat, same contradiction will come. And if you say Jiva doesn't know oneself, then what? Dvitiye yaha swayameva na janati. It should be swayameva na janati, I think. So, I think there's a spelling mistake. The printing, they have missed the na. So, dvitiye yaha swayameva na janati sa katham brahmajaniya. Correct? So, if you say, no, Jiva does not know oneself, means the one who does not know oneself, how can that person know something else also? In the same manner, it applies to Brahman also, because first we looked at it from the standpoint of Jiva. So they said that Jiva, with the help of mind, knows Brahman. And I don't know what Brahman uses to know the Jiva and all that, but Brahman also knows the mind and the Jiva. Brahmana Drishyate also was said by them. But even there also there is a problem, correct? Even in this manner, Brahma api katham jivam janiya. Swayameva hi Brahmana janati. So even for Brahman, the same problem comes. Does the Brahman know, does the Paramatma know Paramatma or not? Jivatma know Jivatma or not? All these questions if we ask, same problem will come. There is always a Vyaghata, or it will go into Anavastha and all that. Or if you say they don't know themselves, then that which does not know itself, how can it know anything else also? So once we say all these things, what Purva Bhakshi comes back, he says, Nacha aham sukhi iti atmanam sarvo veti iti vachyam. Okay. See, now the Purva Bhakshi comes and says, no. Everybody knows oneself. You say aham sukhi, dukhi, etc. Correct? Initially, they gave the argument with reference to body, correct? Stuloham. Now they have become little bit more subtle. Now they have come to the mind, you can say. So now he is saying, no, I know myself as happy or sad, etc. Aham sukhi iti atmanam sarvaha veti. Everybody knows oneself as happy or sad, etc. How do you say that one does not know oneself and there is a contradiction if you say that once? So even that is the argument they are giving, means that also is not correct. Na vachyam. Why? Sukavad antakaranam eva tatra atmana vedyate. So that sukhavat means what? One who has the sukha. Who is the one who has sukha? Means the antakaranam. Mind only. So sukha, etc. are only states of mind. And you take your mind as Atma and then you say that I am happy, etc. In fact, that's why my Guruji used to always say, normal logic is what? I know my sorrow, I know my sadness, etc. That means you are sorrowful. This is the normal worldly logic. But the Vedantic logic is a very difficult logic. Understand that. What is the Vedantic logic? I know sorrow, therefore I am not sorrowful. Okay, because I am only the knower of sorrow. I cannot be sorrowful or anything. That is all only a state of mind. But you want to say that you should have so much space within yourself to see the mind and buddhi as something different, correct? That viveka buddhi is very difficult to get. But that once you have that, you can never have shoka also, really speaking, because that space itself gives you freedom, correct? So anyway, here he is saying Sukhavad antakaranam eva tatra atmana vedyate tat tadatmya atmani sukhitva pratyayaha iti. So there is a tadatmya adhyasa is there, correct? You take what is called kosha also. Pancha kosha prakriya and all is talking about this only, correct? Each kosha, koshavat achadayati iti koshaha, that which is as though a cover. Is covering as though, and then also it is a locus of error. Body is a locus of error because the I sense is placed on the body. I is the locus of, sorry, body is the locus of I. Prana is the locus of I. Whenever you say I am hungry, I am thirsty, etc., prana is the locus of I. All indriyas are also locus of I. I am blind, etc. When you say I am deaf, mind also is locus of I. I am happy, I am sorrowful, etc. Then I am knower, I am enjoyer, all this buddhi. So like this, there is a, this tadatma adhyasa is there. One is, this anatma is taken as atma. There is a confusion with reference to the identity. Therefore, you take yourself as a sukhi, etc. That doesn't mean that really atma is sukhi. Okay, then what? Nahi nirvikare atmani sukha dukkadi vikaraha syuhu avikaryoyam uchyate iti hi shastram. Further, what is what? This Brahman Atma is revealed as Nirvikara, correct? Niravayava, Nishkriya, Nishkala. All Veda is negated in Atma, in Brahman. So that which never modifies, that which never changes, how can it have, or how can changes like Sukha, Dukkha, etc. be in this Atma, which is the unchanging reality? Okay, it is Nirvikara, Niravayava, doesn't have any Avayava, any parts, and nothing can change in that. And also Shastra also is revealing, correct? Avikaryoyam uchyate. It is revealed as avikarya only. Therefore, what? Tasmat Brahma Jivaha va Svena Anyena va Naiva Drishyate. Therefore, what we have to say? Whether it is Brahman or Jiva, that both are only Atma, really speaking. It's only Upadhi Beda. Or whichever way you look at it, Brahman or Jiva, both of them can neither be known by themselves nor by anything else because they are not drishya. This is why it is aprameya. It's not, it can never be a drishya, whether it is jivatma or paramatma, both of them cannot be drishya. Atayeva tad ubhayam nasti iti praptam. Okay, so whatever you said, both, it is not there. Therefore, okay. So once you say this, what? Then they will say, what? Then what? If you say Brahman is not known, then Brahman is not there. Paramatma, Jivatma, both are not there, you have to say. Correct? Ubhayam nasti iti praptam. Therefore, if that is the case, what? It is not Ishta. That's an Ishtapatti, he says. Shunyavada prasanga. Okay. So, if you say this, then what? Both Jiva and Brahman are neither knower nor known, means, or in fact, if both of them are not known also, let us say, if we say that, then Shunyavada, Shunya only is there. That will be the implication. And then what? So, Brahma abhavasya ishtatvepi, Jiva abhavasya anishtatvacha. Okay, Brahman at least is presented by the Shastra, correct? So, somebody can deny that there is no Brahman and all that. There is still a possibility for that. But nobody can deny oneself, correct? One's own existence. You cannot say, I am not there. Then that is why one of the arguments we use against this Shunyavada or Buddhist is that you can negate everything, the entire world, but the negator can never be negated. Who is the negator? So, Jiva Abhava, nobody can establish that or even talk about it. Who is even saying that Jiva is not there? That doesn't make any sense, correct? So that's why Brahma abhavasya ishtatvepi jiva abhavasya anishtatvacha. So even for those who say there is no God, there is no Jagat Karanam Brahma, etc. Fine, but even they cannot claim that I am not there. Nobody can say that is a contradiction, correct? That is anishta. Therefore, what nahi kopi swa abhavam abhyupaiti. So that's what he is saying. Nobody can say that I am non-existent, correct? Who is saying that? Also, nahi naham asmi iti kopi pratyeti, and nobody also cognizes that I am not there like that. There is no cognition for anybody. Nacha pratyeti eva iti vachyam. So somebody, you cannot say, no, no, I know I am not there. Who can say that? I am not there. I said by whom then? That itself is a problem, correct? Pratyeti eva iti na vachyam. Why? Pratyetuhu eva atmatvat tasya sattvat. So why? Because the one who is saying this or one who is cognizing that I am not there itself is the Atma, and that Atma has to be there for any cognition to take place. So therefore, you cannot say. And without the Atma conscious being there cannot be any cognition, correct? So tad abhave pratyasya eva abhavat tatha cha adrishyatva gunakaha jivaha asti iti abhyupeyam. So therefore what? One has to accept that I am there, but I can never be known as an object, correct? That is the adrishyatva gunakaha, he say. I am there, but I can never be objectified because I am the eternal subject. Is that clear? So that's what finally you have to arrive at only this. What? Tathacha adrishyatva gunakaha. I am adrishya, aprameya. Because all pramana vyapara, as soon as you say, it implies the Atma being there, correct? The Jiva being there. Without the Jiva, there cannot be any knower, known knowledge. This vyavahara itself presupposes or implies this Jivatma being there, but that Jivatma itself is independent of this Triputi and it is Adrishya. This you have to accept. Otherwise, always there will be some problem, like we analyzed it, correct? That's what we analyzed and arrived at here. So, this is what we are accepting here. Now, but if we say, Evam tarhi adrishyatva gunakam tasashringamapi abhyupeyam. So now they are saying, no, no, in this manner, if you say, then what? That which is not known or seen, this hair on also you have to accept that it will become like that. But that's not the case. That's why we have to say it is Swayam Jyoti and all that. We'll come to that. In the next class, we'll see. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. धन्यवाद.